Chapter 169, 140 I subdue the dragon with my fist. 4 chapters combined, 13,000 words, /7. See that? You lost to him fairly. Don't go looking for trouble with Lu Chenju anymore, or you'll bring trouble to the Yi family of Su City and you'll be held accountable. Yi Zio's talent is such that, with the Yi family's heritage, he could be discarded at any time. In today's era, if a martial arts family lacks virtue, it's hard for them to get by. Yi Zio just stared blankly, silent. I understand. On the stands of Dinglong Hall, cheers burst forth like a tide. Lu Chenju, Lu Chenju. Damn, this is the real dark horse. Is tiger form that strong? Yang Chun actually lost. Elsewhere, Grandmaster Zhou also looked somewhat astonished. So that's how it is, great success in Arhat skill, that's his reliance. The two's cultivation differs, but not by much. Lu Chenju is not far from 9th rank in terms of endurance. His internal and external training gives him a high margin for error in combat. Lu Chenju can take 10 fingers from Yi Chen, but Yi Chen can't take 1 tiger fist from Lu Chenju. His defense is too weak. There's no helping it. Hard Qigong is not cheating, it's legitimate martial arts. All he could say was, losing to someone who can train both internally and externally, Yi Chen lost fairly. If Lu Chenju steps into 9th rank, he would be completely overwhelmed. Entering the finals, Lu Chenju's popularity soared to number 1 on the spot. His copper Buddha Arhat body drove countless muscle enthusiasts crazy, sparking a surge of hard Qigong fans. Damn, that's what a man looks like. If he had taken his shirt off earlier, I would have supported him sooner. So handsome, looks just like an Arhat statue from the temple. Just shave his head, and it would be perfect. Amidst the cheers of the crowd, Lu Chenju went to the rest room. Ha, the championship is secured. The master started opening champagne skillfully again. 2 senior sisters gave Lu Chenju a shoulder and back massage. Jai Feiyan said, Quick, relax your muscles. Shiruyu asked, Junior brother, do you want to apply some ointment? I brought purple jade ointment. She was worried about Lu Chenju getting hurt and had bought a box in advance. Lu Chenju said, Okay, I'll apply some, thank you senior sister. With his physique, applying ointment during the mid-game break would also quickly relieve some minor injuries, preparing him for the next match. Badi Fist was too fierce, he wasn't sure if he could defend against it. However, after the match ended, he would have to transfer 4 great merits to his senior sister. It wasn't a small amount. His senior sister's ordinary class life was already tight. He couldn't comfortably freeload. After applying the ointment, he took a competition supplement to regulate his breath and restore his strength. In the following match, Lin Xiang unsurprisingly defeated the white-browed master, his eyes blazing as he stared at Lu Chenju in the resting area, his battle intent rising. It's a pity I was hoping to have a match with Yi Chen, but this is good too. With my overlord disarming fist, I'll shatter his Vajra body inch by inch. The ferocity of Badi Fist was well known. After the halftime break, the finals began. In the spectator seats, it was distinctly divided into 2 sides. One side was for Lu Chenju in elephant form, fans of hard Qigong. Lu Chenju. Elephant form fist, invincible under heaven. My mighty tiger form will surely win the championship. The other side was for Lin Xiang and Baji fans. The body shakes and strikes the sky down, shaking feet shocks Mount Tai. Baji Fist is invincible. Wherever the fist falls, the impact resounds. Show the elegance of Baji Fist, let those elephant-form dogs see. With Baji Fist, heaven and earth are set. The slogans of Baji Fist were indeed impressive. Beside them, fans of elephant form cursed. Speaking rhymes doesn't make you great. We'll make up our own when we go back. Fighting isn't about sweet talk. Exactly, all flash, no substance. On the stage, Lin Xiang confidently bowed with clasped hands. The body shakes and strikes the sky down, shaking feet shocks Mount Tai. Baji Fist's kicks and punches are too sharp. When I spar with others, out of respect for my opponent, I don't like to hold back too much. Brother Lu, although you have hard Qigong, it might not be enough to withstand the power. Be careful in what comes next. Lu Chenju smiled and replied, Brother Lin, please proceed. He positioned himself properly, his tiger-like eyes fixated on his opponent. Lin Xiang inhaled and exhaled, loud as thunder, roaring like the wind. Baji Fist focuses most on exhaling Qi, using Qi to control vigor, stabilize stance and strengthen muscles and bones, propelling unity. He lunged forward without any flashy steps, delivering a straight punch that could topple Mount Tai within the confines of an inch. The dark force erupted crisply, ringing clear as a dragon's chant. Due to the need to exhale chi, the roar of Baji Fist was extremely terrifying. In every move, it seemed as if wind and thunder followed, radiating immense aura. Lu Chenju did not clash head-on. He chose to dodge using swallow form, needing first to familiarize himself with his opponent's Baji Fist techniques before finding a corresponding counterattack. This was an underdog fight. He didn't have the strength to dominate invincibly, only the wits to outsmart. Moreover, his opponent was Baji Fist. Lin Xiang quickly followed up, facing Lu Chenju's swallow twin pecs. He braced his elbow outward to block, charging in with a ferocious splitting fist aimed directly at his opponent's face. Drilling fist, pow fist, cross fist, top elbow, slapping palm, cue a palm. As the battle commenced, Lu Chenju once again found himself at a disadvantage against the godlike Lin Xiang's approach. It's the familiar beginning again. Can Lu Chenju turn the tide? The commentator's voice rang out. The audience also held their breath for Lu Chenju. It seemed this man excelled at playing from behind. After 60 moves, Lu Chenju narrowly escaped being knocked off the platform by Lin Xiang several times, but each time, he managed to turn danger into safety, causing Lin Xiang to grow somewhat annoyed and couldn't help saying, "Tiger form is a fierce fist technique. Why does Brother Lu always dodge with swallow form?" By this time, Lu Chenju had become quite familiar with his opponent's moves and had thought of a counter-strategy. He smiled and said, "All right, no more dodging. Let's decide the winner within 100 moves." Chapter 170, 140 I rule with my fist when ascending the dragon. 4 chapters combined, 13,000 words, /8. Great! Lin Xiang was ecstatic and flew toward his opponent. With a loud shout, he executed the heaven and earth creation move, aiming to strike Lu Chenju's chest with a straight stance. Chenju's figure was elusive as he dodged and moved to the side. Sealing his breath, he invoked Inviting Tiger to possess, and his tiger spirit divine strike activated, causing his muscles to swell once more. Tiger God descending. Beneath the torn training clothes, Chenju, built like a Shaolin metal man, threw a straight punch at Lin Xiang's face. He then rotated to the right and swept across with a tiger tail leg, the force tearing through the air, unstoppable. Well done! Lin Xiang neither dodged nor hid. He executed wild horse splitting, carrying the unstoppable momentum of 1,000 horses charging, his elbows shaking off Chenju's kicking, and then fiercely thrusting his arms in front of Chenju, followed by the overlord disarming fist. Bang, bang, bang. Their fists collided madly like hammers, as arms and elbows like phantoms parried and struck, opening wide and hitting fiercely to the extreme. In the spectator seats, everyone sighed with emotion. It's so thrilling. Even more intense than the fight with Yi Chen just now. 8th rank is indeed strong. The ferocity of tiger form can match 8th rank. At this moment, the camera switched to a Mystic List 91 expert of elephant form fist, Shentu Yaoshan, who had a chisel-like face. Speaking into the microphone, he explained, "There is no superiority in fists. The power is within the person. What Lu Chenju practices is the most difficult tiger spirit divine fist of tiger form, which can stimulate the body's acupoints, borrowing invisible divine power, achieving a certain effect of hard qi gong. Coupled with his Arhat skill, it elevates his physical condition to a superhuman level, thus able to withstand 8th rank." The crowd suddenly understood. So that's how it is. The crackling and popping sounds were incessant, undoubtedly providing the highest entertainment value, the straightforward and unpretentious hard combat of raw physical prowess. Down below, old Jai was holding his breath. This kid, he really dares to take on 8th rank head-on. Even old Jai was breathless with anticipation. The 2 fellow disciples didn't dare to blink. The match was too exciting. They feared they might miss each move. Jai Feiyan said, "If Junior Brother had used his full strength in yesterday's sparring, even the 2 of us together might not be his match. This is not 8th rank. I would believe it if you said he was at the extreme limit realm." Shiruyu lamented. This is the invincibility of cultivating both internally and externally. Bang! After the fierce clash of fists, the 2 separated, both breathing heavily. Lu Chenju looked at his fists, now purplish-blue. Lin Xiang was not faring any better, drenched in cold sweat. Truly a thrilling fight. He exploded forward, taking a step like an archer, and executed a crushing fist with inch force. Chenju did not dodge. He pushed out with his right tiger palm, and with a slight turn of the yin-yang umbrella spin, he confronted the punch head-on. Then, turning his palm into a claw, he seized the opportunity to lock onto Lin Ziyang's right fist. Simultaneously, knee-to-knee and fist-to-fist, neither gained the upper hand. Lu Chenju refused to let go, entangling at close quarters. Tiger Venerate Relying Mountain crashed into Lin Ziyang's chest, and the two engaged in close-quarter grappling and combat. In an instant, lethal moves were exchanged, each more dangerous than the last. Lin Ziyang, with a loud shout, used the overturning river and sea force to neutralize Chenju's strength. Then, with Overlord lifting ding, he hoisted Chenju up and slammed him onto the platform. But Chenju, with legs dangling, hooked Lin Ziyang's neck, and using the Hua realm to borrow force, pulled Lin Ziyang out like a radish and crashed together onto the ground. The match had not been going on for long, yet both had displayed all their skills, exchanging hundreds of moves, each more ruthless than the last, exchanging blow for blow, flesh striking flesh. The two stood up from the ground. Lin Ziyang charged forward, and his Vajra hammering smashed toward Lu Chenju's shoulder and neck. Chenju deftly dodged with his sore legs and delivered a tiger-form heart-stealing strike straight to the heart. With a thud, he almost knelt down, unsteady, while Lin Ziyang was flung backward, crashing into the rail, his chi blood churning and head spinning. Satisfying. Lin Ziyang spat out a mouthful of blood, then charged forward again. Lu Chenju stepped forward and roared. It was the third time a tiger roar echoed across the arena. Even though Lin Ziyang was prepared, he was still momentarily stunned. Quickly regaining his composure, he blocked Chenju's killing move. But by now, Lu Chenju had gradually mastered the rhythm of the attack, and whether he could successfully startle his opponent was no longer important. Iron Crotch skill allowed him a never-ending flow of essence, making his endurance no weaker than 9th rank. On the other hand, Lin Ziyang had exerted too much in the first half and was now flagging. Seizing the opportunity, Lu Chenju took a blow to trade for a blow with an elbow strike to the crown of Lin Ziyang's head. As he was flung back, he executed a Tiger God wind leg, hitting Lin Ziyang in the ribs, sending him flying sideways as well. Lu Chenju performed a flying swallow somersault and quickly landed, chasing after Lin Ziyang, pushing both fists forward. Roar! This was his last punch with all his might. Tiger Spirit Divine Strike, Tiger God Demon Clearing Sky Strike. Lin Ziyang had no time to defend, and was sent flying out of the arena. Lu Chenju let out a long howl towards the sky, fists and elbows soaring. Beneath thousands of blazing gazes, he waved the flying swallow martial arts hall's training clothes and let the seagull soar high. After the excitement, he looked toward the resting area of his master. Jai Chuantong, a tough man, now had slightly moist eyes. In the arena, Lu Chenju's voice rang out. Master, I am the champion. P.S. Not charged. Today's chapter, to ensure continuity of the storyline, combines 4 chapters into 13,000 words, allowing you to read the competition plot in one go. Also, feel free to recommend martial arts works with exciting combats in the comments section, not limited to online literature. Additionally, a note that on Kai Dayan, the cost per chapter is linked to the word count. Don't ask me why each chapter is more expensive than usual. Lastly, if encountering an audit issue where you can't see subscribed chapters, try refreshing after some time or delete and re-add the book to your shelf. Chapter 171. 141 I Mock the Heavens 4K, asking for monthly ticket and subscription. Dinglung Hall. The gazes of 50,000 spectators were fixed on the large screen, capturing the face of the short-haired youth. His appearance couldn't be considered very handsome, but his eyes sparkled with a blazing and pure radiance. His name, martial arts. The performance of Lu Chenju the day before hadn't been particularly dazzling. Compared to the overwhelming dominance of Yi Chen and Lin Ziyang, who shone like the arrogant sun crushing their enemies, he seemed slightly inferior. However, today's several matches were fought steadily and securely, like the invincible war god, repeatedly turning the tide against the wind, ultimately defeating both Yi Chen and Lin Ziyang, the 2 hottest contenders for the championship, squarely and fairly. If he had defeated only one of them, some might claim it was luck. But with both vanquished, no one could question the merit of his championship. Lu Chenju truly deserved. Very good, my elephant form is great, right? Elephant form is the world's #1. Although I'm not fond of tiger form, I have to say, Lu Chenju's tiger form has changed my view of this martial arts faction quite a bit. Among the crowd, many lovers of elephant form fist cheered. In fact, the factionalism within Elephant Form Fist was the most severe, with more numerous factions than Baji Fist, Yang Chun, Tai Kai, Wudang, and others combined. As such, most of the time, the factions within Elephant Form Fist looked down upon one another and competed for attention. But faced with a common enemy, especially the renowned Baji Fist and Yang Chun, everyone tacitly united against the outside. All forms under heaven at this moment became one family. It wasn't just the people inside Dinglong Hall cheering. This competition was live-streamed, and online viewers in the DIOS Science and Technology live streaming room were also flooding the chat with messages. Lu Chenju. Su City's Lu Chenju. Dragon City's Lu Chenju. His popularity unquestionably rose to the first place, with Yi Chen dropping to third, overtaken by Lin Xiang. This master of Baji Fist also left a lasting impression on everyone. Inside the Shihu Villa, Li Xianghua and Lu Guoping both sighed with relief, tears streaming down their faces. "My son, you've really made something of yourself." Wanhua High School. Mr. Qi Yu, after watching the competition in his office, was overcome with emotion. Just as a neighboring class's headteacher passed by, Mr. Qi quickly stood up and proudly said, "Mr. Li, how did you know my student Lu Chenju took first place in the regional competition?" Mr. Li. "I did F\seeking ask you, Mr. Qi, you're too much." Not long after, Wanhua High School hung a banner, "Warmly celebrate our school's outstanding student, Lu Chenju, for taking first place in the Jiangnan talent competition." Such a level of competition was worth boasting about. Among the cloud-covered mountains of Fengshan, Dragon City High School. The students promoted to the senior third year had no interest in self-study. With Yu Zheng's permission, Liu Huan projected the final competition on the blackboard for everyone to watch together. In their hearts, they knew that without Lu Chenju, the old class head would never have allowed this. Chenju won the championship. Chenju is really powerful. I'm so excited I'm almost incoherent. Chenju has only been in university for half a year and it's like he's been on steroids, able to defeat 9th-rank fighters. Liu Quanhai's face flushed with excitement. Both with low-class root bone, ordinary people were a world apart from him, yet his own disparity with Chenju was vast, the difference between individuals truly terrifying. Liu Huan excitedly shouted. First defeated Yang Chun, then overcame Baji, elephant form is invincible. Wang Gang, the troublemaker from next door, added. Folks, don't forget the role of hard Qigong. Everyone thought it made sense. Right, hard Qigong is so powerful. Too bad I can't learn it. It's difficult, tiring, and effect is hard to see. Lu Chenju's victory owed much to hard Qigong. His inner boxing strength indeed fell short of Yi Chen and Lin Xiang, but his ability to withstand attacks played a key role. Any other fighter with equal tiger form fist skill would have been sent flying, especially against Baji Fist, which was recognized for its supreme brute force. To confront it head-on was extremely difficult. Hung Fu was all smiles. Chenju has truly showcased the might of tiger form today. Yu Zheng was also overjoyed within, though as the class head, he saw that the students had been distracted lately, so he played the bad guy and poured cold water on them. Stop watching, get back to what you should be doing. If you were as hardworking as Lu Chenju, as heaven rewards the diligent, perhaps you too could have a moment of enlightenment and skyrocket. Inspired by Lu Chenju, everyone returned to their efforts. Liu Huan looked forward with expectation. Next summer, let's all strive to meet with Lu Chenju at Dragon City Martial Arts University victorious. Not one less, we'll carve out our own skies together. Atop Fengshan, Master Wang watched the competition results with a smile. Not bad, I had guessed as much. Now Wang Keiying probably won't go to seek out Lu Chenju for a sparring match. The gap between them was too wide. It could easily damage one's confidence. Dragon City Martial Arts University. During the Heavenly Pile class, Old Tian excitedly said, Chenju won the championship. This kid will advance further on the hidden dragon list. Chen Ziyuan added, I guessed it long ago. He could even suppress that blood feather demon in a fight. Leopard woman chewing gum asked, should we celebrate for him when he comes back? Old Tian thought it was a good idea and looked to the others. Yao Cheng said, I'm busy with training, no time. Just send my congratulations for me. Wang Hong suggested, let's get together for a simple lunch at least. After pondering for a moment, Yao Cheng agreed. All right then. Even someone as strong as Yao Cheng had to admit, based on Lu Chenju's performance against Baji Fist today, his eagle claw, although sharp, might not necessarily have prevailed. Back in Dinglong Hall, Lu Chenju returned to the lounge, where Jai Qiuntang maintained a stern demeanor as a master on the surface, merely smiling slightly. Inside, however, his emotions surged more than anyone else's. Envy kills. Jai Qiuntang himself had once participated in similar competitions. Chapter 172, 141 I Mock the Heavens 4K, asking for monthly ticket and subscription, /2. The result was that he finally made it into the top 32. No matter what, he had fulfilled a wish. When the Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall's emblem appeared on the big screen, he, as a teacher, was as proud as the sun. Jai Qiuntang said, Chenju, apply some ointment, and then have your senior sister accompany you to the venue's medical room for a checkup. Even with hard qigong, it's hard to guard against Baji dark force. If you have internal injuries, you need to apply medicine and treat it as soon as possible. You're in an excited state right now and might not perceive it. Okay, Shiruyu said. I'll accompany my junior brother. After the checkup, Chenju indeed had some minor internal injuries, and he was secretly amazed. This must be the most serious injury he had ever sustained. The power of Baji Fist was truly fierce. The doctor prescribed some medicine for him, and he should be able to recover within a week without any serious effects. In martial arts competitions, injuries are normal. But whether it's external or internal injuries, they must be treated promptly. One should not ignore them just because martial artists have strong physical qualities, or else over time, they could easily turn into chronic diseases. Junior brother, let's not spar for the time being. Mum. The two returned to the resting area to wait for the end of the competition. As for Jai Qiuntang, he went around visiting with his hands clasped behind his back, and the image of Flying Swallow flying soared to the sky on his back. In the end, the results were final. Lu Chenju champion, Lin Xiang runner-up, and Yi Chen third place. The ranking of the competition and the most popular popularity index were consistent, with no suspense. The host invited Grandmaster Zhou to give a speech. Yet on one of the bleachers, a figure rose into the air. He slapped the 3-foot King Feng sword at his waist, which shone with divine light, and then stepping on the sword, he arrived at the lectern. This scene seemed like the legendary sword flight. Innumerable people gasped. This is a Grandmaster. A heavenly list Grandmaster, a land immortal. So cool, and regardless of actual combat, Sword Dao's coolness truly has no equal. This was a scene many people yearned for. Grandmaster Zhou's robes fluttered, and his gaze swept across the audience. As martial artists, we fight against people, ghosts, gods, and the heavens and earth. Today's competition showed me the young hero's indomitable martial arts will, the unyielding martial arts spirit, and the who but me martial arts spirit. The winds and clouds of the world are born from us. The competition is only the beginning of the path of martial arts, which is infinite. If the three evils are not removed, the human world cannot be purified. Be always mentally prepared, young heroes. The audience applauded warmly. Lu Chenju stepped onto the award stage. He received a 3 million grand prize, as well as a gift pack of 10 boxes of Bright God medicine, enjoying the feeling of being the center of attention. The host asked him to give a champion speech. He conventionally thanked his master, senior sister, parents, and so on, and also advertised for the Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall. He wanted the name of Flying Swallow to be renowned throughout Jiangnan. Grandmaster Zhou nodded slightly in his heart. His favorite people were those who knew to repay kindness. Unfortunately, such an outstanding genius of realization was from Dragon City Martial Arts University. In the future, it wouldn't be surprising for Dragon City to have one more unparalleled martial bone Taoist. Before the venue cleared out, Lin Xiang said, Brother Lu, let's add each other as friends. Heavens above, Suzhou, and Hangzhou below. If you have time, come to Hang City, I'll treat you. Next time we can spar again. As a Baji Fist master, losing to Lu Chenju head-on, he was still somewhat unwilling. Sure. The two exchanged contact information. Beside them, Yi Chen hesitated for a moment and then smiled. Brother Lu, I also live in Sioux City. Let's add each other as friends. I heard my foolish younger brother almost ruined your opportunity. I'm not asking for your forgiveness, just hoping that the Yi family won't be implicated because of this. The family elder has already disciplined him. Lu Chenju thought for a moment and said, It's okay, I still admire you, brother Yi. There are always bad seeds in the world, but that doesn't negate the people around them. The young folks exchanged contacts, further expanding their martial arts network. Being of the same generation, it was inevitable to encounter each other again in future competitions. Friendship first, competition second. After the competition, Jai Xuantong was about to leave with his 3 disciples when Chen Yi, sweating profusely, ran over and called out, "Don't hurry off just yet, there's something else." In the backstage area of the venue, Chen Yi brought Lu Chenju and the others to meet someone. Even Jai Xuantong was feeling a bit apprehensive at this moment because the person they were about to meet was too awesome. Soon, a middle-aged man walked in through the door, wearing Imperial Capital Martial Arts University training clothes, with graying temples and a severe look tempered by age. Chen Yi quickly said, "Mr. Li, good day." Jai Xuantong also bowed in the triple truth salutation, saying, "Have met Senior Laughing Sky Dao." The man before them was none other than the founder of Taoist Science and Technology, the honorary vice-chancellor of Imperial Capital Martial Arts University, and 93rd on the All Nations Martial Arts Competition Global Top 100 list, Laughing Sky Dao Lai Taisheng. He had broken through the 5th shackles long ago and was only a step away from the 6th shackles. Coincidentally, ranked 92nd was none other than the principal of Sioux City Dragon Martial Arts School, 3 Extreme Saint Hand Wang Changming. One could say that the combat power of these 2 individuals had already reached the ceiling among those who had broken the 5th shackles. Ahead on the leaderboard were mostly those who had broken the 6th or even 7th shackles. As for the Cold Mountain Elder, he ranked 100th, the gatekeeper. Li Taisheng sized up Lu Chenju in a room filled with silence. After a moment he spoke. "Long story short, I was just passing by Magic City while attending a meeting. I watched your finals performance and it was very good. To my eyes, I won't make other predictions, but you have a hopeful chance to become a grandmaster in the future. Therefore, I'd like to offer you a higher rating." "Thank you, senior." Lu Chenju could hardly contain his joy. He was already in S rank. Any higher would be SS rank. Previously, Chen Yi had said that the company's talent development contract went as high as SSS rank, equivalent to a martial bone Dao embryo. Individuals at such a level already had the qualifications to negotiate terms with the company and set custom training contracts. Old Jai went without saying, feeling moved and also thinking that Li Taisheng's vision was superior. He too believed that Chenju had the demeanor of a grandmaster, a notion unintentionally concurred by other great grandmasters. Li Taisheng said, "Chen Yi, discuss the contract terms with Chenju, then amend the contract, tally up the account, and also settle the payments for the previous period of the A-rank contract." Chen Yi promptly replied, "Of course, Mr. Li, please go ahead with your busy schedule." Li Taisheng stretched out his hand and shook hands with Lu Chenju, saying, "I, Laughing Sky Dao, love to make friends the most. Being able to support the potential talents of the future and seeing the seedlings nurtured by the company grow robustly gives me a great sense of accomplishment. Regardless of your future achievements, our friendship will last forever." His domineering presence somehow managed to convey affability. Although it might have been a merchant's facade, it still made everyone feel pleasantly heartened. He also shook hands with Jai Xuantong and the 2 senior sisters. To have taught such a disciple, Master Jai will surely be esteemed for ages. I dare not assume, it's all thanks to Chenju's own efforts." Watching the senior depart, the group finally breathed a sigh of relief. Chen Yi introduced. "The SS rank contract entails an annual cultivation cost of 2 million. The difference from last year's cost, totaling 3.5 million, plus a 3 million prize bonus. Congratulations, Mr. Lu, you can take home 6.5 million, and from now on, you can cultivate without worries. Additionally, if Mr. Lu intends to purchase a void blade or protective gear, for items not exceeding 30 million with our company's SS contract, you can enjoy a 10% internal discount, because we are also just cooperating with the state, and that's the highest discount." Lu Chenju calculated. Buying a fist blade would save him another 2 million. Jai Xuantong asked, "What are the criteria for an SSS rank?" "Either recognized by a top martial university as having martial bone Dao embryo potential, or Mr. Lu must become a martial artist before the age of 20. In any case, the time from entry to becoming a martial artist must not exceed 5 years. If I recall correctly, Mr. Lu entered at the age of 15, right? Yes. Upon hearing this, Lu Chenju had his answer. Becoming a martial artist before 20, he figured, was not a big problem. After signing the contract, Jai Chuantong, triumphant with the triple reality, returned to the gates of Sioux City Dragon Martial Arts School. Old Jai stood still, watching the backs of the three departing. Once I'm gone, the Jai family's genealogy must reserve a special page for this. He was the future master of Grandmaster Lu. On the flight from Magic City to Imperial Capital, laughing Sky Dao looked out the window. Mr. Li, is Lu Chenju truly a prospect for Grandmaster? Pretty much. Even if he doesn't make it in the future, a bit of flattery doesn't hurt. Besides, I have a feeling that deeming him a Grandmaster prospect might be a conservative assessment. Let's set him up with the SS rank for now and consider upgrading to SSS rank later, keeping him under special observation. The rise of Taoist science and technology's competitor, divine martial technology, with its influence spreading nationwide, was not without the fortune they had of stumbling upon someone years ago. The Kangshan Dragon King. In the martial arts era, having top-tier power relationships indirectly bolstered one's say in various fields. This was inevitably beneficial for a company's commercial expansion. Taoist science and technology also needed an influential figure who could match the Kangshan Dragon King. Laughing Sky Dao felt that, provided Lu Chenju maintained his current trajectory, keeping his spirits high and progressing forcefully, breaking the 5th, 6th, or 7th shackles would not be an issue. The true excitement lies in the clash of dragons and tigers. Today's update of 17,000 words is complete, seeking monthly tickets and subscriptions. Chapter 173, 142 9th Rank Realm 4K. The next day, Sioux City Dragon Marshal. Before the Heavenly Pile class. Once Lu Chenju arrived, Old Tian came over with a smile. Congratulations, you've really brought glory to Dragon City. I've just managed to fulfill the expectations. We'll eat together at noon to celebrate for you. It's actually a custom among the top martial universities. If a classmate wins a place in a major competition, it's a glory for the other students too. Be sure to come. All right, I'll treat. No need, I've got the routine funds given by the homeroom teacher. Okay then. Chen Zion, with her whip coiled around her slender waist, ran over and said, Chenju, you're getting close to 9th rank, right? Still lacking a bit in fire control. Hearing this, Chen Zion secretly gasped in alarm. Wow, his progress is terrifying. He's going to catch up with me soon. The most frustrated was Ziohe. Half a year ago, at the start of school, he was the second to last in the class. At that time, he still looked down on Lu Chenju for being weak. Now, he ended up being at the very bottom. Teacher Wu Zun arrived, patted Lu Chenju's shoulder and said, Good performance, even the president paid attention to this match. Everyone inwardly envied Chenju. He really was the favorite of Sioux City Dragon Marshal. Compared with those who were naturally talented with top-class root bones, the president was actually more concerned about acquired enlightenment. At noon, Lu Chenju dined with the class for the first time. After this meal, the gap between everyone seemed to lessen by another degree. Even someone as arrogant as Yao Cheng took the initiative to congratulate Lu Chenju on his championship. His grandfather, Grandmaster Yao, had watched the match too. Grandmaster Yao told him to keep away from pride and impulsiveness, and to build good relationships with his classmates. He also said Lu Chenju had the makings of a grandmaster. Generally speaking, this was a description reserved for special-level martial arts talents or even martial bone Dao embryos. After the meal, Old Tian said, I want to talk to everyone about something else. Our Sioux City Dragon Marshal is planning to have a small-scale friendly team competition with Huangshan Martial University in September, mainly against their genius third class from the headquarters, for 3 days. Upon hearing this, Wang Hongdao showed a look of delight. A genius clash, I like it. Last year when I was at headquarters, I fought against the geniuses from Yinshan Martial University on the Yinshan Great Plains for 3 days and nights. It was awesome. The other Tinglong Six were also rubbing their hands in anticipation. Chen Zioan said with a smile, That's great, the last practical training was not satisfying at all. We only fought for 1 night and mainly against ordinary people. Those cultists weren't even worth our attention. Ziohe whispered, Without 8th rank cultivation, isn't it easy to get thrashed? Wang Hondo cracked a smile and said, Pretty much, but no worries, just be an accessory, since it's a team competition after all. Xiaoyi's face turned red as he said, I will reach 8th rank very soon. I won't drag everyone down. Old Tian said, the competition is on the 9th of September. Before that, everyone should try to enhance their strength and also upgrade their equipment. Cold weapons can be used in the genius confrontation. Lu Chenju asked, cold weapons, won't that be very dangerous? Old Tian smiled and said, don't worry, the homeroom teachers and faculty members will follow in secret throughout the competition. If there's a danger of serious injury, they will stop the match. Safety first, competition second. The fist blade of the Void Blade series was out of reach for now. Lu Chenju decided to first purchase an ordinary alloy fist blade to make do. Otherwise, before becoming a martial artist, he would always be at a disadvantage facing cold weapons with just his bare flesh and blood. After finishing his daily cultivation exercises, Lu Chenju looked at his upper body, covered with bruises. To speed up the healing of his wounds, he bought a box of purple jade ointment worth 40,000. A substantial sum was about to enter his account, so there was no need to pinch pennies. For future Arhat skill cultivation, he planned to apply purple jade ointment externally to speed up the formation of the golden Buddha Arhat body. After applying the medicine and feeling its nourishing effect on his flesh and skin, with sensations like ants crawling underneath, Lu Chenju immediately went to bed to let his body heal itself. Waking up the next day, he looked towards the martial arts tree. Arhat skill, great success 54%, right arrow great success 55%. Sparring and taking hits could play a certain role in refinement. Thus, upon waking up, the proficiency of his hard qigong had increased again. He checked his phone, and various messages instantly flooded the screen. Account ending in 9527 has received a transfer of 6.5 million yuan from Taoist Science and Technology. Note, competition prize and talent cultivation funds. Current balance, 7.3 million. You have received 20 great merit from the school administration. Note, incentive bonus for commercial competition rankings. Current balance, 150 great merit. You have received 50 great merit from Jai Chuantong. Current balance, 200 great merit. Your hidden dragon points have increased by 100 points, current total, 5923. Your rank on the hidden dragon list has advanced to 1121. Lu Chenju showed a satisfied expression. Finally not so strapped for cash. He had also acquired an additional 10 boxes of Bright God potion on his own, enough for 2 months of use. The expense for other medicine was not significant. He could save this money for the time being. Adding the 200 great merit, Lu Chenju's effective savings had reached the 10 million level. If he didn't buy the Void Blade, this money would be enough for several years of university cultivation. He sent messages of thanks to CEO Chen and his master. CEO Chen encouraged him to keep working hard. Master didn't say much. Jai Chuantong has been too excited lately. Aside from practicing and teaching, he couldn't help but visit friends in Sioux City, acting as proud as Wu Zun, who has caught a 10-pound carp. Lu Chenju opened the hidden dragon list. Old Tian at rank 1300 has already been left behind by me. Now in the genius class, only the already 9th rank Tinglong 5 are above me. Once I step into 9th rank at the end of the month, there's a chance for my rank to enter the top 1,000. Top 1,000 rankers get a minimum reward of 1 great merit per month. Even small gains accumulate to something significant. The leg of a mosquito is still flesh. As for the 2 senior sisters, although they've also made progress during this period, they're still beyond rank 2,000. Of course, they're in the ordinary classes and are actually far ahead already. Chapter 174, 142 9th rank realm, 4K/2. The gap with the genius class was just too large. Lu Chenju found his father's account and transferred 200,000 for daily expenses. Lu Guoping did not refuse. He knew his son was capable of earning a lot. The purchase of protective gear some time ago had indeed depleted much of the family's savings. Lu Chenju then dialed Qin Zheng's number. Qin Zheng, give me a bank account number. What's up? I borrowed 600,000 from you before, right? I'm paying you back now. Well, Chenju, you don't need to hurry. I know you're in need of money right now. You can pay me back later. My dad isn't worried either. I won a bit of prize money in a competition recently. I have money now. Oh, you competed. Didn't you follow the Jiangnan Elite competition? No, I haven't been keeping up with martial arts recently, busy preparing for the college entrance exams. Qin Zheng searched briefly, then exclaimed, "My God, you actually defeated two ninth-rank opponents." Thinking that he hadn't even reached third rank himself, Qin Zheng felt even more desperate. The tragic thick barrier between him and his good brother was only getting thicker. After returning 600,000 to Qin Zheng, Lu Chenju still had 6.5 million left in his account. Compared to that, the money he earned monthly as a private family trainer seemed trivial. Previously, his vision had been limited. Once one became a true genius, relying solely on various competitions was enough to make a fortune. But since he had taken the money, he needed to deliver. Lu Chenju planned to continue teaching his two students on the upcoming rest days. Nowadays, after a strict crackdown, the public safety in Sioux City had improved much compared to before. With his capability, self-protection was no longer an issue. After paying off the debts, Lu Chenju felt much lighter. In the following days, he spared no expense in consuming medicine for cultivation. The proficiency of Tiger Spirit Divine Fist soared rapidly, reaching the limit of Mastery Realm on August 29. With the high efficiency brought by the Bright God Potion, on August 30, this top-level and hardest-to-practice Tiger Form Fist technique naturally had its breakthrough. In the martial arts room, Lu Chenju's 17 major acupoints now gushed with mysterious power like a mountain spring, continuously. His muscles, bones, and internal organs like the heart, liver, spleen, lungs, and kidneys absorbed the mysterious power like sponges. His organs became increasingly firm, his body tighter, and his bones continuously tempered like forged steel, emitting a faint white glow. As Lu Chenju breathed in and out, a tiger roar thunderously echoed inside him. After ninth rank, the muscles and bones have begun to resonate in unison, which is the standard for reaching the peak in dark force. Every single movement generates the vortex force of a dark force equivalent to thousands of pounds. Once unleashed, it's unstoppable. One step further from muscle and bone resonance is the martial arts strong sound. Strong sound can intimidate enemies, boost morale, impact void things, and better coordinate the chi power throughout the body to increase force. To some extent, strong sound can be understood as a martial artist's own background music. When he activates strong sound within the range of the sound, it becomes his invisible domain, where no one can defeat him under his very own BGM. In the Chi Blood measurement room, Lu Chenju walked out leisurely, taking a long breath of relief. Chi Blood value 5.31, truly befitting a top-level first-class fist technique, to have elevated my Chi Blood so much just by achieving small success. Once I reach great success, I'll definitely step into 10th rank. The Chi Blood standard for 10th rank is 6.19. But to break the first shackles, one needs to polish the Chi Blood to 8. From 6.19 to 8, this Chi Blood range is the breakthrough realm that stumps many. According to the knowledge Lu Chenju had sought from his master. To attempt breaking the shackles, 4 conditions are required. At least one first-class martial arts must reach perfection. Chi Blood value must break past 8. Open up 30 major acupoints. Train the 3 major force techniques, light force, dark force, and Hua realm, to the peak, integrating them with the mastered martial arts and comprehend a strand of innate strength. When these 4 conditions are met simultaneously, one can attempt to break the physical shackles, open up the martial arts internal realm, cultivate martial arts true skill, and robustly reshape the innate strength day and night by tempering the body's flesh, making the inner heaven and earth membrane increasingly substantial. Only then can one truly enter the cultivation of a martial artist. The 4 essential conditions, all indispensable. Among them, the most difficult is opening the acupoints, followed by tempering the Chi Blood and comprehending innate strength. Even for a genius, achieving perfection in first-class martial arts is just a matter of time. Some common first-class martial arts, even at perfection, still fall significantly short of a Chi Blood level of 8. At this point, one must study other martial arts to compensate. Lu Chenju was not worried about this, as he had swallow form and hard qigong to accumulate Chi Blood. Tiger Spirit Divine Fist being the top first-class martial arts, perfecting it brought his Chi Blood close to 8. It was manageable, especially since opening acupoints could also increase Chi Blood. With the martial arts tree, the first 3 conditions could be steadily achieved. Only comprehending innate strength might depend on comprehension and luck. No big deal if all else fails, I'll just stack divine seeds. His goal was to become a martial artist before the age of 20, the earlier, the better. After breaking the first shackles, 30 acupoints would activate simultaneously, propelling a martial artist's chi blood from 8 to 10 in one go. Breaking 10 in chi blood was not just an increase in quantity, but a qualitative transformation. Fist Technique Class. Li Gui, upon learning that Lu Chenju had defeated Baji with tiger form, was incredibly pleased. Tiger form, it was just so impressive. He looked at Lu Chenju, who appeared completely renewed after waiting for some time, and showed a look of surprise. "You're at the 9th rank." Lu Chenju smiled and said, "Yes, my tiger spirit divine fist has reached small success. I asked the teacher to provide some guidance to see if there's anything that needs improvement." Even the usually expressionless Li Gui nearly lost his composure. He calmed his emotions and said, "Good, show me a demonstration." Lu Chenju's chi sank to his dantian. Strands of divine power emerged from his acupoints, accompanied by the faint sound of a tiger's roar. He had already invited the tiger to possess him, his body visibly toughened by a degree. He shouted loudly, and his forceful tiger god boxing technique exploded through the air, its imposing force rivaling the Baji fist, as if aided by the tiger god itself, fierce and awe-inspiring. After the demonstration, Li Gui's eyes sparkled as he said, "Good, good, good." He repeated "good" 3 times, drawing the attention of the other fist technique teachers and students in the class, wondering why Iron-Faced Tiger seemed like a completely different person. Suddenly, Li Gui said, "Lu Chenju, let's spar. I want to see your understanding of transforming power." "Sure, teacher." He readied himself, and the serious Li Gui in front of him instantly exuded a vast tiger-like imposing aura that pressed down on Lu Chenju as if facing an abyss. Bang! Li Gui moved swiftly like a darting rabbit, stepping right in front of Lu Chenju. He threw an unadorned punch, causing Lu Chenju's body to shake. His arm and fist resonated oddly, and upon colliding with Li Gui's fist, a sound akin to clashing metal armor reverberated around them. It was as if pieces of heavy armor were shedding at the moment of contact. Accompanied by the falling armor, the probing force from Li Gui was mostly dissipated. Li Gui retracted his hand, nodding and saying, "Good. General Armor Removal Force. This power is best at transforming force when clashing with a formidable opponent. It serves both defensive and offensive purposes without affecting one's own punching power. However, purely in terms of defense, the yin-yang umbrella spin that you've comprehended from Tiger's Supreme Fist is even more formidable, better suited to complex and varying combat situations." General Armor Removal Force, originally derived from Baji Fist. Lu Chenju seemed enlightened. "I understand, teacher. I will use it flexibly in the future." Li Gui said, "Continue practicing. In tomorrow's fist technique class, I'll teach you an important tiger form body technique, Tiger Shadow Mysterious Steps. Mountain crossing body is useful, but for a 9th rank cultivation, it's too basic. In your future competitions, you'll be facing geniuses at the 9th and 10th ranks. Without a first-class body technique, you'll find yourself at a significant disadvantage." Understood. Lu Chenju knew if he was only participating in competitions with participants of low-class root bone, then mountain crossing body would suffice. However, to compete in more prestigious events like the Hidden Dragon Martial Arts Competition, with 3rd-class body techniques, he could easily be outmaneuvered by geniuses. Even invincible hard qigong was of little help. In martial arts cultivation, when competing against opponents of the same level, body technique was also crucial. A poor body technique meant vulnerabilities everywhere. Chapter 175, 143 Tiger Shadow Lost Trace 4K. Evening. Lu Chenju in his bedroom had just finished practicing Iron Crotch skill, alone. The essence and energy in his kidney area bubbled like a babbling brook, which gave him the false impression of having consumed a tiger bone wine that bolsters yang energy. Within the acupoints he had already opened, mysterious power flowed into the lower region of his body, leaving his face flushed with redness. "Hiss, this crotch transformation is kind of painful." The pain in the privates is something all men can understand. Not just painful, it also itched. After some time, Lu Chenju's complexion eased. "Hugh, that feels better." This iron crotch skill truly is different from the ordinary hard qigong. When you think about it, the martial arts that train the nether regions must be extraordinary. In Lu Chenju's opinion, only the iron crotch skill is worth practicing among the 3rd-class hard qigong. Others like iron leg skill and iron head skill are completely unnecessary. because once Arhat's skill reached perfection, he could practice the 18 Arhat's golden body skill. Among the 72 exclusive Shaolin abilities, the difficulty of golden body skill belonged to the first tier. In the existing first-class hard Qigong, its difficulty was also second to none. This martial art required not only cross-training of the upper body, but also the lower body, head, and palms. Apart from the crotch region and some other key areas, all parts needed to be trained with golden body skill. The difficulty of hard Qigong is closely related to the positioning and area of the parts being trained. Therefore, even a cross-training talent like Chen Ju, a martial artist, could only manage to perfect the golden body skill. The difficulty of golden body skill deterred most hard Qigong cultivators. Even extreme enthusiasts for cross-training like Wang Gang didn't dare to cultivate it, settling instead for piecing together complete hard Qigong full-body puzzle with third-class hard Qigong. Lu Chenju was not afraid of the difficulty of golden body skill. With the foundation of Arhat skill, the difficulty of the upper body cross-training of golden body skill drastically decreased, making his cultivation twice as effective with half the effort. Only special parts like the lower body, head, and palms required more effort. Paired with the martial arts tree, golden body skill was not as hard as reaching the heavens for him. At most, it was a bit of a challenge. Lu Chenju looked at the martial arts tree panel. Iron crotch skill, mastery 1%. He ran to the Qi blood measurement room and performed a set of basic boxing. Qi blood value 5.44. Although it's a third-class hard Qigong, the increase in Qi blood is indeed significant. That's also normal, as the iron crotch skill stimulates areas with very low overlap with most martial arts. The night was deep, and Lu Chenju felt his vitality still flowing endlessly. Is this the legendary vigor of dragon and tiger? He was somewhat troubled. It seems that I shouldn't cultivate iron crotch skill at night in the future. It's too easy to lose sleep, and it's not good to have excess energy that can't be vented. How about I practice boxing instead? He had already completed his boxing training for the day. But now, with a heat in his lower abdomen that was difficult to bear, he had to resort to boxing in the middle of the night until he finally felt the heat subside around midnight and could take a satisfying bath before sleep. The next morning, Lu Chenju rose early and began to cross-train the core regions and massage areas. After completing iron crotch skill, he continued practicing heavenly pile to dissipate his vital energy. It's much more comfortable this way. Starting the day with iron crotch skill, and the rest of the day is like living as an immortal. He remembered a warning given to him by his mentor Chen Ju before he graduated. Iron crotch skill greatly enhances essence and yang energy. If your willpower is not strong enough, there's no need to cultivate it every day. Practicing every other day is also fine. Otherwise, you might as well be eating braised soft-shelled turtle, fried chives with eggs, oysters with garlic sauce, and testicles every day, if you know what I mean. Despite this, Lu Chenju trusted in his martial arts will. Excess energy could be vented by practicing boxing. He turned on his phone, and notifications from the hidden dragon list popped up again. Your hidden dragon list points have increased by 1,000. Your hidden dragon list points have increased by 123. Your total hidden dragon list points have reached 7066. Your hidden dragon list ranking has risen to 788. If you can maintain this ranking until the end of the month, you will be awarded one great merit. Sure enough, I've broken into the top 1,000. Lu Chenju stretched and was already indifferent to it. With the martial arts tree, ascending 2,000 ranks in half a year was normal. However, advancing further after entering the top 1,000 would be difficult. The starting cultivation for this ranking interval was almost all 9th rank experts. It's enough as it is. Getting one great merit each month for doing nothing, that's 12 a year. By the time I am dropped from the list at age 35, it's like getting 200 plus great merits for free. Lu Chenju glanced forward. Chen Xiaoan at 656th place, she's the next one I'll surpass. At breakfast time, his master called Lu Chenju. Chenju, have you reached the 9th rank? Yes, master, how did you know? I've just broken through not long ago. I saw your ranking soar. Old Jai checked the rankings promptly every midnight, even more diligently than Lu Chenju, watching like playing a nurturing game, hoping for the day his disciple would reach the top. Keep it up and let me know if you face any difficulties. Pleased, old Jai hung up the phone. Ever since returning from the exchange of elites competition, he had been floating on air, almost as if he was the champion himself. Lu Chenju's fame had already begun to spread in the Jiangnan region, hinting at emerging prominence. In Sioux City, Lu Chenju's household name had surpassed those martial arts seedlings cultivated locally by Pingjiang Martial Arts University. He could be said to be number one. Compared with the newly arrived 6 dragons from Tinglong, Lu Chenju, with his low-class root bone, was more of a talking point and a good reason for both the nation and school to extensively promote and offer as motivational fodder. Although professionals understand that Lu Chenju's achievements could not be separated from sudden enlightenment and the awakening of postnatal talent, the general public only remembers. Lu Chenju achieved his success today all through his own effort. Upon learning that Lu Chenju reached the 9th rank, both his senior sisters also sent their congratulations in timely fashion. Jai Feiyan was slightly shocked, but as for witness Shiruyu, who had seen Lu Chenju's meteoric rise all the way, she was no longer surprised and regarded it calmly. Chapter 176, 143 Tiger Shadow Lost Trace, 4K/2. 3 months from 8th rank to 9th rank, it's not a big deal. Because he is Lu Chenju. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, fist technique class. Chenju, you're at 9th rank. You're almost catching up with me on the leaderboard. Chen Zion today wore a crop top that showed off her midriff, accentuated by the whip worth 13 million tied around her slim waist, which Lu Chenju couldn't help but take a second glance at every time. What a fine whip indeed. Seeing Chen Zion's skeptical appearance, he chuckled. I just had my breakthrough yesterday. Chen Zion did some calculations. She remembered that Lu Chenju enrolled at the beginning of February, at that time just peaking at 6th rank cultivation. In no more than half a year, he had gone from the last in class to breaking through 3 realms. Could this really just be a sign of sudden enlightenment and talent? At this rate, the prospect of her, with top-class root bone, being surpassed was merely a matter of time. Zion, I'm off to class. Lu Chenju left Chen Zion behind, still lost in her thoughts. As Chen Zion watched his retreating figure, for the first time, she felt utterly ordinary, despite having been a prodigy in the martial arts university talent class since childhood. No wonder Iron-Faced Tiger is so favorable towards Chenju. Gymnasium. Li Gui was beaming today. Although he appeared calm on the outside, he was actually so excited last night that he couldn't sleep a wink. He had told Principal Wang about Lu Chenju's advancement to 9th rank yesterday. The principal was quite pleased and instructed Li Gui to pay special attention. Such seedlings bearing the potential to become martial arts grandmasters were top martial universities' treasure, and even in today's world filled with talents and scientific bursts, grandmasters remained few and far between. Each additional grandmaster at a top martial university added depth to its heritage and helped it climb the international rankings. Hong Fu has sent over a fine disciple. Lu Chenju, a tiger form prodigy to boot. He will be the one to elevate tiger form to greater heights. Li Gui looked at the eagerly waiting Lu Chenju and said, You have the foundation of the mountain crossing body, so you need not worry too much about the tiger shadow mysterious steps being difficult. Just remember, the foundational fist theory of any tiger form body technique originates from third-rate movement techniques. The so-called quality of martial arts is also the result of later generations continuously innovating and differentiating based on what came before them. The same principle applies to fist techniques. This is why top martial universities insist on everyone starting from third-rate martial arts to lay the foundation. The student understands. The training area for tiger shadow mysterious steps needs to be more complex. The usual wooden stake arrays won't help you improve anymore, so follow me. Lu Chenju followed Li Gui to a special martial arts room. Half of the area was filled with shrubs, odd pines, rugged rocks, spiderweb-like vines sheltering the half-sky, wooden spikes hanging down, moss on damp bluestone and ferns, while the other half of the area encompassed ice, snow, and a coniferous forest. For a moment he felt as if he had been transported to the primordial forests of Bengal and the snowy wilds of Siberia. A place where fire and ice met. Li Gui said, Tiger form excels in forested environments. Tiger shadow mysterious steps is an advanced martial arts technique created by predecessors who integrated the essence of techniques like mysterious fist, shadowless step, mountain crossing body, among various other schools. If you can manage to move in this complex environment without disturbing a leaf and landing punches on your target, doing so on flat ground will naturally pose no difficulty. Should you encounter real combat in the future, whether in an urban jungle or a wilderness, it's all the same principle. On the one hand, disregard environmental disadvantages. On the other, use the surrounding environment to gain an advantage over your enemy. This is the essence of Tiger Shadow Mysterious Steps. Lu Chenju was enlightened and asked, "Teacher, nowadays, combat in forested environments seems to be rare." His mountain-crossing body, divine seed, possessed additional power when in a forest environment. Li Gui said, If you reach my level, even a steel jungle would be a forest to you, and this city would be your hunting ground. Why get caught up in appearances? Moreover, as a student, you might not know that, in fact, in some wild forests, there are also void things and evil spirits lurking, waiting for martial artists to clear them out, not to mention the legendary Void Realm, which is a world profoundly different from ours. If we humans want to eradicate the void things, we must someday level the Void Realm and seal off its sources. Lu Chenju couldn't help asking, "Teacher, have you ever been to the Void Realm?" Li Gui shook his head. "With my power, I'm not qualified to enter. For now, only professional national exploration teams, clad in special equipment that works in the Void Realm and led by a martial arts grandmaster, can enter, but even they are limited to the outer areas. The Void Realm is vast and boundless, as unknown and mysterious as the endless deep sea. Entering rashly is a life or death matter. This is why top-level experts above the status of grandmasters are the pillars of a country. They silently guard the crossing points in other worlds, keeping the terrifying beings behind the gates. This is our gatekeeper." Li Gui's tone was solemn, his words filled with respect. Images of top-level experts flashed through Lu Chenju's mind, especially those who had made their names at the all-nations martial arts competition as 6th rank and 7th rank breakthroughs, who seemed to have retreated into history afterward, never to appear again, likely having become gatekeepers. Seeing Lu Chenju silent, Li Gui continued, "However, the Void Realm isn't all bad for humanity. Since entering the modern era, the number of human powerhouses has increased dramatically compared to ancient times. From breakthrough 5th as the absolute peak, to now breakthrough 7, one reason is scientific and technological progress, population explosion, and other modern factors. Another important reason is the Void Realm itself. Within it lies many substances that can help humans break their limits, which in ancient times could have been called heavenly materials and earthly treasures, great medicines and rare objects. Otherwise, relying only on herbs or materials from Earth, how could so many break through their limits? The reason being that what we martial artists consume now would have been called heavenly materials and earthly treasures by wanderers of the ancient world. The Void Realm brings resources. That's why those top-level experts voluntarily become gatekeepers, also for resources. National teams explore for the same reason, to bring back resources and nurture more martial artists, thus forming a virtuous cycle, using the void to nurture martial arts, making martial arts stronger and more widespread, aiming for everyone to be as dragons, and ultimately using martial arts to conquer the void, suppressing all kinds of demons and deities with martial arts. Lu Chenju remembered that in the formula for the Bright God potion, there were a few ingredients he hadn't found in conventional herbal scriptures. They were from the Void Realm. No wonder the potion was so expensive. Ordinary herbs could be mass-produced to some extent with high technology, but herbs from the Void Realm were likely difficult to produce on a large scale in the short term. Fortune and disaster go hand in hand. The Void Realm is indeed so important. You just need to have a rough idea for now. Once you become a martial artist, many things will naturally become clear to you. There are top-level experts guarding our rear, and my task is to teach well, and your task is to learn well." Li Gui suddenly flipped a switch, and all the man-made environment, including metal imitation bushes, old trees, and strange rocks, began to buzz and tremble. The Tiger Shadow Mysterious Steps mainly consist of 2 phases, Tiger Shadow and Mysterious Steps. Tiger Shadow further strengthens and trains your movement technique, while Mysterious Steps lets you grasp the changes between illusion and reality, confusing your enemies. You use your movement technique to interfere with the enemy, so you can kill them in one blow, or fleeing is the best strategy. Li Gui entered, and as the mechanisms operated, desiccated trees swept across, rocks shook, vines whipped. Suddenly, it was as if he entered a ghost realm, facing enemies on all sides. His feet clawed the ground like tiger paws, casually stepping through. His figure turned into a black phantom. Even with Lu Chenju's eye power, it was difficult to see clearly. always feeling like the teacher turned into an apparition and disappeared. The Tiger Shadow Mysterious Steps has many moves and 72 variations: facing rocks Tiger Brave, facing trees Tiger Turn, facing water Tiger Jumping, facing abyss Tiger Turn, facing enemies Tiger Becoming Wind. But what remains unchanged amidst all these variations is to adapt your strategy according to the terrain. Treat the forest as your own home, freely and naturally. Under the teacher's guidance, Lu Chenju also tried to enter the field. His mountain-crossing body was at perfection, so he managed to hold on for a while, but compared to the teacher's effortless grace, it was like a cub just learning to walk, somewhat awkward. Martial arts requires a strong effort at the beginning. If you have nothing urgent this afternoon, then keep practicing with me. When you're tired, take a short rest. I'll see if you can grasp the basics before dinner. Li Gui looked at the disheveled Lu Chenju, but didn't scold him this time. Lu Chenju also felt a surge of determination and said, "Good, I have confidence." Li Gui rarely cracked a slight smile. If it had been before, he would have thought Lu Chenju was just bragging, but now in front of him was the tiger form prodigy praised by Principal Wang. Watching Lu Chenju practice diligently, Li Gui felt content deep down. This transfer from the main campus to the branch school, it was worth it. Chapter 177, 144 Fist Blade Mountain King, 3K, requesting monthly tickets and subscriptions. Observe all around, keep your ears open. The cultivation of movement techniques is not only about training your legs and stance, but also honing your 5 senses and neural reflexes. In an instant, you must process a myriad of sensory information while simultaneously letting your body react most appropriately, choosing the correct method of movement, embedding it gradually into your instincts, until, like a real tiger, every move is driven by heart intent. This is the essence of natural movement. Li Gui followed behind Lu Chenju like a shadow, and whenever Lu Chenju made an error in his steps, Li Gui promptly kicked him to correct the mistake. Despite restraining his strength, the kick still gave Lu Chenju the painful sensation of sparring with a peer in the same realm. He was like a tiger being chased by Li Gui, agilely navigating through complex terrains. Unknowingly 5 hours passed. Around 7 p.m., Lu Chenju had cycled through all 72 variations of the movement techniques. Although still very much unfamiliar to an outsider, his movements resembled a hungry tiger hunting in the misty shadows of a mountain forest at night, a quite intimidating sight. Tiger Shadow Mysterious Steps, when mastered, require no physical contact. Merely circling around the enemy with this technique can exert an intangible, formless pressure. After saying this, Li Gui turned off the machine. He looked at Lu Chenju, whose frame seemed almost to fall apart. The boy had practiced a first-class movement technique continuously for 5 hours without rest, showcasing incredible stamina. It was said that he had recently trained in iron crotch skill, which likely contributed to this endurance. Congratulations, you've reached the beginner level in Tiger Shadow Mysterious Steps. Li Gui felt he had taught several extra lessons today. Ordinarily, he wouldn't waste his valuable time like this with regular students, but Lu Chenju was different. Teaching this student was never a waste of time, as he could vaguely sense Lu Chenju's rapid improvement each day. As a teacher, receiving such positive feedback from a student provided motivation. "Thank you, teacher, for sparing some of your personal time," Lu Chenju said, feeling somewhat embarrassed. Li Gui replied, "Passing on knowledge and resolving doubts are natural duties of a teacher. Chenju, go have dinner first. Practice a little before bed to consolidate what you've learned. Starting tomorrow, in addition to Tiger Spirit Divine Fist, your newly learned movement techniques will also be assessed." Understood. Lu Chenju watched as his teacher walked away. Great teachers produce great disciples. Teacher Li is outstanding, so his student Cha Chihu is also excellent. The same goes for my senior Kingshan Kang and master. I am truly fortunate. Having high cultivation does not necessarily make a good teacher. Ethics and the ability to impart knowledge are equally important. Lu Chenju, with his achievements today, must not forget those who have aided him. After dinner, seizing the moment, Lu Chenju practiced Tiger Shadow Mysterious Steps alone in the gym, aiming to master this first-class movement technique within a month. With the divine seeds boost from both mountain-crossing body and sea-sweeping body, it shouldn't be a problem. At 10 p.m., Lu Chenju turned off the switch and looked at the martial arts tree. Tiger Shadow Mysterious Steps, beginner 3%, right arrow beginner 4%. The progress is even faster than I expected. It seems I can master it in 20 days. Part of it is due to improved comprehension, but more importantly, the foundation laid by mountain crossing body. In martial arts cultivation, a solid foundation is crucial. Turning off the lights, the gym seems still occupied as Old Tian, also an acquired enlightenment practitioner and another workaholic among the 8 geniuses, Lu and Tian, both kings of diligence. Old Tian, I'm heading back to rest. Go ahead, prepare well for the Huangshan competition. We're facing Huangshan's Genius Class 3, whose average cultivation is 9th rank. We have Zio He, and though our overall strength is slightly weaker, Genius competitions are team events. It's up to you and Wang Hongdao to lead us now. You're probably about to break through, right? Lu Chenju remembered when he first came, Old Tian's chi blood was already at the late stage of 9th rank. Now, half a year later, with Tian's talent, he should be close to 10th rank. Old Tian chuckled. You'll see on the hidden dragon list tomorrow. Seeing his smug expression, Lu Chenju had a good guess. Old Tian, this sneak, was probably hoping to make a big impression in the upcoming competition. Such a sly guy. The next day, Lu Chenju saw the rankings. Just as expected, Old Tian soared over 1,000 hidden dragon points, ranking close behind at 800. Too bad, still not surpassing me. Lu Chenju secretly relished this. Old Tian probably thought he could overtake him this time. Wishful thinking. In another villa, Old Tian, watching the rankings, went pale. Darn, still under Chenju. Despite being a mighty 10th rank martial artist, his significance in the school still couldn't surpass Lu Chenju, a 9th rank. It just showed how unfriendly the world was to someone like him. Zio He seems to have reached 8th rank, ranking 12-12 now. This kid really did well. In the upcoming genius competition, for us in Dragon City, it's a sure win. 2 10th rank, 5 9th rank, 1 8th rank. The average cultivation of Dragon City's genius class was above 9th rank, but with his well-rounded skills, Lu Chenju's true combat capacity was comparable to a 10th rank. During fist technique class, Lu Chenju demonstrated the tiger shadow mysterious steps, and Li Gui nodded slightly in approval. Improved? He then asked. For the genius competition in September, have you prepared any cold weapons? Lu Chenju shook his head. Not yet. I wanted to buy the Void Blade model fist blade from the Martial Arts Association's official website, but they were out of stock, so I'm planning to just buy a common fist blade to use for now. Fist blade? Yes. It's a good choice. You have no foundation in soldier attack martial arts. Forcibly using weapons like knives, spears, swords, and halberds works against weaker opponents, but against stronger ones of the same realm, it negates your advantages and puts you in a lower grade. Fist blades suit you better at this stage. That's exactly what I was thinking. Let's do this. Follow me to my house after class. Okay. Lu Chenju felt somewhat uneasy. What does this mean? Could the teacher be planning to give me a weapon? By the lakeside at Stone Lake, a certain villa. It was Lu Chenju's first visit to Mr. Li's residence. Mr. Li opened the door and the inside was very tidy, though it lacked a lively atmosphere, seeming like he lived alone. There was also no talk of Mr. Li having a wife or children. Some martial artists live solitary lives, never marrying or having children throughout their lifetimes, or they start looking to pass on their lineage to a young woman and establish a family only when they see no hope on their path in martial arts, since a man's fertility lasts for a long time. Mr. Li was rifling through his storage room while Lu Chenju silently stood in the living room, surveying his surroundings, when he suddenly noticed a picture, Black Tiger King devouring evil ghosts. A rough work by Hong Fu, gifted to Teacher Li. Teacher Hong really likes to gift paintings. After a while, Mr. Li came out holding a dusty box. Take a look inside. Upon receiving and opening it, Lu Chenju was dazzled by a chilling brilliance. Inside lay a pair of fist blades as dark as the night with 4 tendinous protrusions on the knuckle side, their shape reminiscent of elongated tiger paws. Mr. Li put them on his hands. The cold black light reflected his worn, merciless face. He crossed his arms, fists clenched. Whoosh! 4 dim metal blades suddenly sprang from the protrusions on the knuckles, each about 3 inches long and as wide as a finger, curved like the deadly claws of a fierce tiger. Hiss, are these your fist blades, teacher? Lu Chenju watched closely. Mr. Li swung them casually, easily slicing a wooden dummy in the living room into several parts. The cut surfaces were as smooth as mirrors. He took off the fist blades and handed them, along with the box, to Lu Chenju. These are the fist blades I bought when I first entered the Martial Arts Association. They are made of C8 alloy, which is somewhat outdated by today's standards, but still several times better than what you could find in any ordinary cold weapons store. There was no void blade technology back then, so these can't counter void things. However, you have evil chi and void-breaking gloves, so make do with these until you can get a void blade model, then return these to me. Lu Chenju didn't make a show of declining. He graciously accepted them and asked, "How much did these fist blades cost, teacher? I will reimburse you at the original price if they are damaged." "No need. With your strength, you shouldn't be able to break them." "All right, do these fist blades have a name?" "I named them Mountain Lord." "Mountain Lord, what a great name." Lu Chenju put on the fist blades and performed a set of fist techniques right there. As an extension and enhancement of his fists, the fist blades did not involve the disciplines of soldier attack martial arts, so he adapted to them quickly. It wasn't long before the fist blades seemed to become part of his fists, not hindering his performance of various fist techniques. Due to the blades, his demeanor appeared even more like a fierce tiger, reminiscent of a great demon, brimming with lethal aura. Watching Lu Chenju, who clearly cherished the fist blades, Mr. Li felt somewhat moved. He said, "Fist blades are a weapon that martial artists will never betray. Take good care of them. The so-called divine weapons are nurtured by the cultivator's essence, spirit, and energy at all times. Over the long term, they develop divine properties, becoming an extension and external manifestation of a martial artist's power." Lu Chenju took note and asked, "Teacher, you gave me Mountain Lord. What will you use?" Mr. Li fetched a new package from his house, opened it, and a silver-white metal fist blade emitting a pale blue luminescence captivated him. He hesitated and asked, "Is that from the Martial Arts Association website in Sioux City?" Mr. Li smiled slightly. "Yes." "Well then, it turns out the teacher has purchased new ones for himself." Lu Chenju felt much better now. Mr. Li said, "Fist blades are meant for killing enemies. During genius combat competitions, unless it's an emergency, there's no need to unsheathe the blades. The metal knuckles are sufficient to counter most cold weapons. Of course, if you need to protect yourself, then it's every man for himself." "I understand, teacher." "All right, you should head back now. Get more accustomed to them." "Thank you, teacher." Lu Chenju was excited, yet also a bit overwhelmed with gratitude. The teachers treated him too well. Their kindness was immense. Even though these fist blades were outdated, they were still worth 7 figures. When he returned home, he donned the fist blades and performed Black Tiger Fist, Tiger Supreme Fist, Tiger Spirit Divine Fist. He blended the fist blades perfectly with his tiger form techniques. In just 15 minutes, the especially tough wooden dummy was completely destroyed, pieces scattered all around. "I'll have to switch to alloy wooden dummies in the future." That was the state without unsheathing the blades. Should the blades be drawn, Lu Chenju, if he encountered that blood feather demon again, would need no one's assistance to tear him to shreds. Chapter 178, 145 Huangshan Martial Arts University, 4K. The swift horse outside the window. In the blink of an eye, it was already September 20th. In the Chi blood measurement room, Lu Chenju stood still after practicing his punches. Chi blood value 5.6. The Chi blood has improved a bit. The Tiger Shadow Mysterious Steps truly deserve their reputation as first-class martial arts. Though a movement technique, the boost to Chi blood is quite good. He looked toward the martial arts tree panel. Martial art. Tiger Shadow Mysterious Steps, proficient 1%. Arhat skill, great success 68%. Iron Crotch skill, mastery 33%. Tiger Spirit Divine Fist, small success 23%. Cultivation technique. Dragon and Tiger Heavenly Pile, the 18th acupoint 76%. With proficient level Tiger Shadow Mysterious Steps combined with perfect level mountain crossing body, this talent competition is set in a mountainous environment like Huangshan. I might be able to perform beyond usual expectations. After practicing his punches, Lu Chenju began packing his luggage. Today, the 8 people in the talent class were leaving the province. They were to have dinner and get acquainted with the opponents from the talent class of Huangshan Martial Arts University, with the competition officially starting the next day. Lu Chenju was really looking forward to the trip to Huangshan. Unlike the main campuses of martial arts universities such as Dragon City Martial Arts University that are centered in the cities, the headquarters of top-notch prestigious institutions like Huangshan Martial Arts University and Hua Mountain Martial Arts University are closer to scenic mountains and rivers, similar to the old hidden sects. Of course, these prestigious schools also have many branches in major cities. In this era, complete isolation would only lead to stagnation. Around noon, Lu Chenju left with his luggage. "Mom and Dad, there's something going on at school. I'll be away for 3 days." Li Xianghua was practicing her punches. After a year of practice, she had become proficient. Her chi blood had increased slightly, and her physical fitness was noticeably better than before. For ordinary people, an increase of 0.1 in chi blood can make a big difference. Common minor illnesses disappear, and the mental state can be greatly improved. Often, the temperament of those who work out regularly contrasts sharply with those who stay at home. "Go on, be safe." "Okay, tell Dad for me." "Memo." Lu Chenju turned and left. Recently, Lu Guoping had become obsessed with fishing. In addition to practicing martial arts, he bought a whole set of fishing equipment and spent his days competing in fishing with Teacher Wu. It was a good hobby, as fishing could also train patience and perseverance. Otherwise, dealing with idleness every day, who could stand it? The talent competition was also a kind of practical training. According to school regulations, it needed to be kept confidential. Hence, Lu Chenju only told his master that he would be away for a few days. Jai Xuantong, naturally understanding the message, advised Lu Chenju to be cautious and put safety first. Climbing Mount Huangshan makes all other mountains look small. In the all-nations martial arts competition of Huangshan 8 years from now, as long as you, my disciple, can secure a ranking position on the yellow list, it will be enough to be recorded in the history of Dragon City School. Jai Xuantong sent Lu Chenju this message at the end. Even for a top martial university, only a few can make it to the yellow list in each martial arts tournament. After all, one has to compete with top talents from all over the world for a spot in the top 100. The fact that the Dezia 24 School Alliance could dominate such a large part of the competition was already impressive. Jai Xuantong's mention of making it into the school history was no exaggeration. At noon, a low-key yet high-end bulletproof black business vehicle took the 8 members of the talent class away from the campus to spar wits with the forces of darkness. For long-distance practical training missions, it's private jets. For mid to short distances, it's dedicated vehicles. They usually did not take public transport. In the car, there were 3 teachers in charge of leading this practical training. The class teacher, Li Xiaokan, Li Gui, and Wu Zun. 1/3 shackles breaker and 2 second shackles breakers. Such a lineup was extremely luxurious. Wu Zun said, "Tomorrow's competition is not only a test of your individual abilities, but also a test of team cooperation. When fighting enemies, we are not fighting alone. The performance in the last wind wave forest training was very good. I hope you all continue to do well." Li Gui said, "Although the friendly school is not the enemy, during cold weapon combat, blades and swords cannot see. While protecting yourself, do not be too harsh. If you are at a disadvantage and risk being eliminated, it's okay to concede on time. Injuries take a long time to heal, and you cannot afford that setback." King Shinkang glanced at Old Tian and said indifferently, "Old Tian, introduce the opponents for this competition to everyone." Old Tian opened his thermos and took a sip of tea, speaking seriously. "The talent class 3 also has 8 players. From the current intelligence, there is 1 10th rank and 7 9th rank, slightly stronger than us. I will introduce them from strongest to weakest. First is Li Kongkong. Like Wang Hongdao, he has been a 10th rank for a long time, and he practices Huangshan's lineage of Jade screen palm, specializing in the use of the strange weapon leisure fan. His mother is the martial arts grandmaster of Huangshan Martial Arts University, Jade fan immortal Ling Susu. Li Kongkong's chi blood value should have broken 7. Listening to Old Tian's introduction, even Wang Hongdao's expression became serious. "This person is a formidable opponent. I'll take him on." Just from the description, everyone felt an invisible pressure. Xiaoyi felt somewhat uncertain and asked, "Will my 8th rank cultivation drag everyone down?" Leopard woman chewing gum patted his shoulder and said, "No worries, you can find a place to hide." Xiaoyi. Lu Chenju carefully noted the opponent's martial arts. Apart from Li Kangkang with Chi blood over 7, I am confident in defeating the others. As for Li Kangkang, I'll only know after we have fought. A battle intent was burning inside him. At 5 in the afternoon, Huangshan Holiday Hotel. Situated in the beautiful scenic area of Mount Huangshan, in one of the private rooms, the teachers and students of Talent Class 3 from Huangshan Martial Arts University were also analyzing their opponents. The class teacher of Talent Class 3, Wang Ling, also a third shackles breaker and a master of sword Dao, known as the Pine Wind Swordsman, scanned the names and said, "There's no need to elaborate on Wang Hongdao. He already had a bit of fame when he was at the Dragon City Martial Arts University campus. Li Kangkang, you are responsible for containing him. The rest of the Tinglong Six are not to be underestimated either. But what I want to remind you of are the 2 instant enlightenments. Tian Xingjian has been a 9th rank for a while, and it's possible he has entered 10th rank, and that Lu Chenju needs special attention. During the recent Jiangnan region talent competition, he was the champion." Chapter 179, 145 Huangshan Martial Arts University, 4K/2. A young man with delicate features, holding a folding fan, said, "Teacher, the Jiangnan talent competition is just a bunch of low-class root-bone youth, right?" "Yes, but the ones who capture the crown are no simple characters. This person has cultivated both internal and external techniques, practicing internal tiger form fist and external training of Arhat skills, and has developed a copper Buddha body." Hearing this, everyone showed a look of surprise. The class president of Class 3, Yin Shishi, was a gentle and delicate girl. With her delicate brows slightly furrowed and a solemn expression, she said, "To think that a mere low-class root bone, not even 18 years old, could reach the peak of the 8th rank with both internal and external cultivation. This person is more formidable than many top-class root bone individuals I've encountered. I wonder if he has stepped into the 9th rank. If he has, then among the people from Dragon City, aside from Wang Hongdao, he will be the toughest to deal with. I'll take him on when the time comes. I'll take on that Grandmaster's son, Yao Cheng. Leave Zhou Xingkang to me." While everyone was getting excited about the conversation, a teacher walked in and said, "The people from Dragon City are here. Let's all go greet them first." Everyone rose from their seats to welcome the newcomers. Approaching them was a group with an extraordinary presence, among whom Wang Hongdao was undeniably the most conspicuous. Yin Shishi gauged the people with her eyes and said with a winsome smile, "Friends from Sioux City Dragon Martial, you've come a long way. No matter how intense the competition tomorrow, we must enjoy a good meal and chat tonight, and make friends first." Old Tian shook hands with them, saying, "Thank you for the hospitality." During the dinner, everyone introduced themselves. When it came to Lu Chenju, he felt a gaze from the table, precisely that of Li Kangkang holding a folding fan. He laughed and said, "I've heard Brother Lu has cultivated hard qigong. Excuse the boldness of my inquiry, but could you display it and open the eyes of us from Huangshan Martial Arts University?" Old Tian's eyes sparkled, taking the conversation in stride, and laughed. "It wouldn't be appropriate to disrobe in such a setting, but tomorrow everyone will have the chance to witness it." A cheerful dinner, unwitting, set the scene for a hidden clash of energies. The following pre-dawn morning, both teams arrived early at a conference room to gather. An official from the martial arts department was introducing the rules. The competition will take place at Huangshan, formerly known as Yishan. Of course, the main venue is not within the core scenic area, but in the vast wilderness of the mountain forests. Our organizing committee will drop you off at random locations, and each of you will be equipped with a competition map. According to the marked routes on the map, find the checkpoints scattered in the mountain woods, defeat the gatekeepers, and acquire the respective tokens. Eventually, before noon tomorrow, gather at the Bright Peak Arena in central Huangshan for the team confrontation. After the competition, we will score both schools based on the number of tokens acquired and the arena battle results. Be cautious, some hidden challenges may contain void things. Lastly, the primary purpose of this contest is for exchange and cultivation, with friendship and safety coming first, competition second. Once the rules had been introduced, everyone was brimming with battle intent. Old Tian went to collect 8 nameplates bearing their names. "Keep these nameplates on you. If you are outmatched, surrender your nameplate to your opponent, who will then not continue the assault, but you will lose your right to compete." Lu Chenju pocketed his nameplate. To think there are even non-player characters, NPC, resembling void things. This is no different from real combat training. The state must be doing this in preparation for exploring the Void Realm, I suppose. Finally, the martial arts department staff member said, the university that wins this competition will receive a special fund award of $5 billion from the martial arts department. $5 million of that is a prize for you talents, to be distributed by your respective universities based on your individual performances. Our martial arts department will not be involved. Upon hearing this, everyone came to a realization. This was actually a competition between the two schools. Just one practical exercise involving the genius class could decide where the $5 billion would go. No wonder there were so many big and small competitions and exchanges between the martial arts universities. Fundamentally, it was all about dividing the money. King Shin Kang said, perform your best. Apart from the $5 million prize, the school will also give great merit and potential ranking points as rewards, just like in practical training. Lu Chenju's eyes shone. If he were to get a special level evaluation like last time, he'd pocket millions again. The money-making opportunities at the top martial university are truly abundant. At 8 in the morning, 2 helicopters carrying students from both sides tore through the vast sea of fog, dropping the 16 contestants randomly into sections of the primeval forest. Before disembarking the helicopter, King Shin Kang instructed, I want to mention one more thing. Avoid injuring tourists. Do not damage important landscapes and monuments. Should such situations occur, participation will be instantly revoked. Understood. The helicopter disappeared over the horizon. Lu Chenju stepped on the dry leaves beneath his feet, breathed in the fresh air, and listened to the birds chirping, the stream trickling, and the rocks rising majestically. He felt a natural sense of affinity. The Darling acupoint shimmered faintly within, emanating the Great King Mountain Patrol Divine Seed. The efficacy of Mountain Patrol could increase the power of Tiger Form Fist. Phew, this is truly my home ground. Lu Chenju surveyed his surroundings, casually swinging the tiger claw as he executed the black tiger fist, warming up with a few simple moves before diving into the dense subtropical forest. The closest checkpoint to me is the Nameless Cave. 3 kilometers away, his travel pace meant he would soon arrive near the Nameless Cave. He hid in the underbrush, silently watching the cave entrance with tiger-like eyes. Within the Darling acupoint, a hint of coldness emerged. There's void. Lu Chenju waited patiently, and shortly after, a figure dropped from the trees. He wore the training clothes of Huangshan Martial Arts University, seemingly called Zheng Shaekong. 9th rank cultivation, skilled in swordsmanship. This person carefully inspected his surroundings, unaware of Lu Chenju's hidden presence. Sensing the void things inside the cave, he gripped a frosty long sword of void blade with his palm clad in void-breaking gloves, bolstering his courage before delving deeper into the cave. Outside the cave, in the bushes, Lu Chenju held his breath in concentration, calm as a lying tiger. Soon, the sound of metal clashing echoed from within the cave, the commotion significant. Roughly 10 minutes later, Zheng Shaekong emerged holding a Jade token. Not bad, a good start. The first token is mine. The organizers are willing to go all out. They even placed a mid-danger level void thing as the gatekeeper. Lucky, my yellow stone sword was powerful enough. Otherwise, it would have been quite a headache to slay it. He secured the Jade token and quickly left. Lu Chenju quietly followed, like a hungry tiger stalking his prey for an ambush. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Suddenly, 3 flying stones shot towards him, one flying into Lu Chenju's hiding spot, breaking a bush and exploding into a pile of dirt and gravel. Lu Chenju, clutching the fragments of stone, stood up from the dust and smiled. Brother Zheng's skills with hidden weapons are quite impressive. Zheng Shaekong's expression was unchanged, standing with his sword behind an ancient tree. I had a feeling I was being tailed by a little ghost. Turns out it's Brother Lu. As Jianglin's champion, are such sneaky attacks all you dare to use. Lu Chenju strode forward, bones crackling throughout his body. He flexed his muscles and bones, saying, words are useless. Hand over the token to me and I'll let you stay longer in this competition. Otherwise, I'll send you off right now. His hands extended from the wide sleeves of his training clothes. The pitch-black fist blade gleamed with a metallic luster, its engraved black tiger pattern merging with Lu Chenju's current aura and environment, as if it came to life. Zheng Shaekong laughed and said, it seems Brother Lu, after his epiphany, has grown confident enough not to take someone with top-class root bone like me seriously. If that's the case, then let's see the real skills in combat. Behold the sword. He adopted the stance of the phoenix facing the sun, his sword formation and chi mechanism intimidating. Lu Chenju burst into laughter, then stepped on the rocks and bushes, pouncing ferociously like a true fierce tiger, only to see Zhang Xiechang's figure lunging forward before swiftly swinging his hand. Bang! A bag of white powder exploded. Lu Chenju flicked his robe, dispersing the powder. Brother Zheng, this throwing of lime is not exactly the high road either. He passed through the chalk, to see Zhang Xiekang tapping the ground with his feet, embarking on a desperate run. HMPH, I'm not interested today. We'll have our showdown tomorrow, Brother Lu. Zhang Xiekang sprinted for 5 miles. Seeing that Lu Chenju wasn't pursuing, he hid behind a clump of withered trees and breathed a sigh of relief, his heart thumping loudly. That was close. This guy practices both internal and external techniques. That aura of his must also be at the 9th rank. If we had clashed directly, I would have undoubtedly lost. I'll leave it to the class leader and Li Kongkong. He wasn't foolish. Knowing he couldn't win, the best strategy was to flee. All of a sudden, Zhang Xiekang abruptly rolled to the side, narrowly dodging an attack, but saw a black and gold fist, seemingly emerging from nowhere, strike the tree he was hiding behind like thunder. Boom! The thick dead tree snapped under the force. Lu Chenju, like a hunting fierce tiger with shining eyes, laughed and said, "Why does Brother Zheng flee?" Chapter 180, 146 Fist and Sword Cross 4K. In this vast mountain forest, Lu Chenju felt an unprecedented sense of confidence and tranquility. He was the master here, the king who patrolled the woods. Zhang Xiekang performed a sword flower, then, with his backhand, placed his sword on his back and said coldly, "I'm done running. Let's see how the legendary cultivator who masters both inner and outer techniques fares." He too was a genius, naturally possessing his own pride. After saluting with a fist, Lu Chenju confidently said, "Please enlighten me." Lu Chenju had always crossed fists with fist techniques. Today was finally the chance to spar with the legendary sword cultivator. Zhang Xiekang composed his breath, his left hand forming a seal with the palm facing down, the index and middle fingers together and pointing straight out. Then his figure shot forward, the right arm wielding the sword moved to attack. My practiced sword technique, known as Yellow Dragon Sword Skill, is one of the dragon form swordsmanship created by Huangshan Martial Arts University. Today, I'll test your tiger form fist boxing. Bring it on. Lu Chenju advanced with a bow step, his right palm pushing horizontally. Accompanied by the sound of metal clashing, the sword blade and the fist cover collided, sending sparks flying everywhere, the buzzing sound echoing through the forest. Thrilling. Feeling the vibration in his right palm, Lu Chenju moved erratically, darting forward with an arrow step to close the distance with Zhang Xiekang. The so-called longer reach equates to greater strength, but in close-range combat, fists and swords meet, and one would usually be at a disadvantage. The aim was to fight at close quarters. Zhang Xiekang naturally knew this. His figure kept retreating, with the Qingfeng sword in his hands, sweeping left and right to block Lu Chenju's fists, while infusing his dark force into the sword tip to swiftly stab at Lu Chenju's vital spots such as the throat and solar plexus. Though Lu Chenju wore a protective suit, he dared not let a 9th-rank expert stab him. Parrying while closing in, he kept a lookout in all directions for the right moment to launch a fierce attack. Yellow Dragon pummels through. The long sword, at a tricky angle, passed through Lu Chenju's fist palm and thrust towards his forehead. He tilted his head, and the long sword ended up stabbing into the tree behind him. The horrifying penetration power, paired with C9 alloy, instantly pierced through the tree. Lu Chenju took advantage of the moment before Zhang Xiekang could withdraw his sword, aiming a tiger claw toward his opponent's throat. Zhang Xiekang leaped up, releasing the long sword, and upon landing swiftly grabbed it to stab out like a dragon, his dark force bursting, slicing horizontally. The long sword sliced through half of a tree trunk and slid out, colliding with Lu Chenju's fist. Good reflexes. Lu Chenju, like a tiger, climbed the tree in stride and then, like a swallow, skimmed through the air, dodging his opponent's fierce and dense sword attacks. He was neither hurried nor slow as he circled around Zhang Xiekang, who was backed against a boulder, the long sword aimed at Lu Chenju. Zhang Xiekang suggested, "It seems our strength is evenly matched. How about we just leave it here?" Lu Chenju laughed. "Brother Zheng, aren't you getting cold feet?" "Then let's continue." Zheng Shaokang no longer held back. With a loud shout, he advanced with his sword swinging in large, open arcs, trying to overwhelm Lu Chenju with his presence. The sword slashing through the air, Lu Chenju supported his fist blade and deflected the blows from left to right, while twisting his body sideways to push through, bending over with a leg sweep aiming at his opponent's lower body. Zheng Shaokang lifted his sword and took to the air while changing from slashing to chopping, streaks of cold light appearing in the thicket, shrubs were flattened and leaves scattered. More sword marks surfaced on the ground. Lu Chenju steadily pressed forward, calmly countering the sword moves. With his mountain-crossing body and tiger shadow mysterious steps, he moved effortlessly through the woods, using the vegetation and rocks as cover to make his opponent's attacks either miss or get caught by his fist blade, not a single blow reaching him. In just 5 minutes, they had exchanged hundreds of moves. Sweat streamed down Zheng Shaokang's forehead, and he was slightly out of breath. The longer the fight went on, the more he felt surrounded by the enemy, constantly feeling as if from behind the bushes and trees a large tiger might pounce at him at any moment. This was the essence of the tiger, shadow mysterious steps. The more complex the environment, the more powerful the technique. Conversely, in open terrain, the effect was mediocre. Lu Chenju attacked from behind. Zheng Shaokang leaned back, counterstabbing with his sword, clanging against the fist blade. Before he could swiftly withdraw the sword, he felt something seem to have hooked onto his long sword. He pulled hard, turning around to look, only to find that Lu Chenju's fist blade had extended its blades at some point, trapping the long sword in between. Damn, I forgot these fist blades usually have a hidden mechanism. Zheng Shaokang was somewhat panicked. His withdrawal of the sword failed, so he decisively abandoned it, stepping back quickly. The next moment, Lu Chenju's high side kick swung through empty space. Zheng Shaokang let out a breath, feeling a close shave. His handsome face was nearly hit. Clang, Lu Chenju planted the long sword in a green stone behind him. Brother Zheng, please hand over the token and the nameplate. Let's stop here. You're a sword cultivator and without a weapon now, how could you possibly be my match? Zheng Shaokang's face went through various changes, but ultimately with a red face, he admitted. I lost. He threw the Jade token and nameplate that were hanging on his waist on the ground and then moved away, standing with his hands behind him. After Lu Chenju had collected the spoils, he said, Would you mind returning my long sword? Lu Chenju smiled slightly and pulled out the long sword. He flicked it with his finger, creating a resonant hum. Good sword, is it a void blade? Yes. How much did it cost? 10 million. Lu Chenju flung the long sword, sticking it into the tree trunk next to Zheng Shaokang. Zheng Shaokang pulled out the long sword, his expression dejected, not expecting the fight to end so soon. Suddenly, a figure descended from the sky. He was wearing the uniform of the competition staff, exuding the aura of a martial artist. Huanshan Martial Arts University, Zheng Shaokang, has been eliminated. Zheng Shaokang was escorted away by the staff, and he asked unwillingly, Am I the first to be eliminated? No, you're the second. Huh, is there someone who was defeated earlier than me? Yes, He Ling from Dragon City Martial Arts University, eliminated 1 minute before you. Chapter 181, 146 Fist and Sword Clash, 4K/2. That's good. Zheng Shaokang relaxed. He stood on the helicopter, clasped his fists with a smile and said, This time I was not as skilled, but next time I won't be. Lu Chenju looked up and smiled. There will be an opportunity to come to Dragon City and spar with me. Definitely. After saying goodbye to his opponent, Lu Chenju felt emotional. Now it's 7 against 7. He guessed that he might not make it through the night. But he didn't expect this guy to end up dead on arrival. At the same time, a live broadcast came from everyone's communication bracelets. Dragon City He Ling was defeated by Huanshan Yin Shishi, eliminated. Huanshan Zheng Shaokang was defeated by Dragon City Lu Chenju, eliminated. Somewhere in the woods, old Tian stopped. He really has bad luck, just landed and encountered the second top fighter of the opposition. Fortunately, Chenju performed well. Zheng Shaokang's strength could rank in the top 5 of the opposing side. Huanshan has lost a main general, and their strength will be significantly reduced going forward. In a clearing in front of a small log cabin, 2 figures were clashing, creating an immense commotion. Smack! Li Kongkong's folding fan suddenly opened, and with a fierce gust of wind, a 10th rank in black clothing was struck and flew backward. What a formidable young man! I shall retreat first, he. This NPC was very dedicated, spouting tough words then running away. Li Kangkang picked up the token. The black-clothed man dropped. Xie Kang was eliminated. This Lu Chenju truly has some skill. Suddenly his expression changed, and he looked towards a spot. Who's there? It's me, Ping. A figure holding a yanling blade appeared. Li Kangkang said, Good, let's move together. Ping said, Now that we've lost a 9th rank while our opponents have only lost an 8th rank, the situation is unfavorable to us. Just now, I saw Wang Hongdao enter a dilapidated temple from afar. He might be in a difficult battle with the gatekeeper, if... Li Kangkang smiled. Lead the way, let's send Wang Hongdao off. The rest are nothing to fear. Whoosh whoosh. A whip reached out, grabbed a high branch, and Chen Zion leaped up with its momentum, sliding onto another tree like a gliding snake. The branch she had just been on shattered by a shadow of a stick from midair. A black-clothed figure stood holding the stick. Little girl, you can't run away. His movements were like an ape's, quickly following her. This person was also an NPC, responsible for sudden mid-path ambushes to create twists. He was already a 10th rank. Unlucky, didn't get the token, and now being chased by someone at the extreme limit realm. Running out of an ancient forest, Chen Zion stopped, only to face a 90-degree cliff ahead, strangely growing pines reaching up from the rocky peak, towering above. She hooked a weird pine with her whip and used her movement technique to climb the cliff. Bang! A powerful, heavy stick fell, and midair Chen Zion had to plummet to dodge the strike, simultaneously pulling her whip out, striking directly at the man's abdomen. Tusk, it looks like you've nowhere to run. The black-clothed man chuckled weirdly, using his stick to block the whip, spun it around, and tightly wound the whip around, Chen Zion pulling in vain, her face changing color. This person was too strong. These NPCs, battle-hardened, were best at handling prodigies. A force surged forth. Chen Zion was at a lower absolute strength. Her body dragged toward the black-clothed man by the whip. Out of options, she let go of the whip. Her small feet kicked out a pile of dirt and stones in midair, seizing this chance to escape in a different direction. Hey, little girl, you're leaving your whip behind. The black-clothed man chuckled lightly, pursuing once again to kill. All of a sudden, Chen Zion stopped again ahead. She clenched her fists, set her stance, and said, Return my whip. The man in black glanced around and smiled. Another one come out. Before he had finished speaking, he suddenly whipped the air, sending a cracking sound towards a bush. But in the next moment, a great force seized the end of the whip. The man in black gave a slight smile and discarded the whip. Lu Chenju grabbed the whip and handed it to Chen Zion. Chen Zion could hardly hide her delight, glaring fiercely at the man in black. She exclaimed, Now it's your turn to run, Chenju. Let's beat him up. Snap! Chen Zion advanced swiftly, the whip already slashing through the air. Alone, she had felt uncertain. Now with Lu Chenju, she felt confident again. Lu Chenju silently disappeared into the woods. He used Tiger Shadow mysterious steps to circle behind the man in black, burst forth from cover, and aimed a tiger claw at the man's back. The metallic clang of their encounter was blocked by the man's backhand stick defense. Such strong power, he must be a veteran 10th rank. Lu Chenju thought. His sneak attack had failed, and the man's sweeping stick wind came like a whirlwind. Lu bent forward, then back, grabbed the man by the waist, vibrated his right leg, and struck inch force at the lower body. The man dodged the whip while leaping from the ground. Lu Chenju took the opportunity to hold him and arched back with force, like a snapping bowstring, slamming the man headfirst into the ground. The man used his stick to support himself and flipped back up, his sticking hand sliding down to elbow Lu in the stomach, while he reversed the stick to strike Lu's back. Lu, like a bowing tiger, absorbed the blow to his stomach but was still hit by the elbow. He used general armor removal force to redirect 70% of the force, and hard Qi Gong blocked the rest. At the same time, the stick about to hit his back got entangled by Chen Zion's whip. Time for me to disarm you. Chen Zion retracted the whip, looping it around a tree and tightening it with the tree's friction. Holding the whip in her right hand, she plucked it like a celestial harp, and with a powerful crack, broke the tree bark and caused the man's hand to split open. Using the eel-slithering force, the man in black freed himself like a boneless snake from Lu's hold while twisting along the whip and pulling out his stick. Watch the stick. He first struck at Chen Ziyuan, who pulled the whip to dodge the stick strike with the Qin King Pillar evasion technique, flipping back afterwards. The man's stick strike hit the ground, exploding dirt and shattering stones. Indeed, a master of extreme limit realm. Boom! The man in black swung his stick again, colliding with Lu Chenju's fist wrap, the rebound force numbing Lu's hands. This man's stick technique was too strong. Without disarming him, he alone could fight against them for a long while. Lu Chenju's fist blade popped out, clamping onto the stick like Vajra tiger claw, chopping downwards. "Goodness, you're serious," the man exclaimed, retracting the leading hand on the stick while trying to dodge Lu with leg techniques. Lu gave no ground, the metallic clang echoing through the woods. At that moment, Chen Ziyuan whipped at the man's right leg. She yelled sharply, pulling with both hands, retreating as if tug-of-warring. The man was firmly controlled by them. Sparks flew from the friction between the fist blade and the stick. He ultimately had to surrender his weapon, pulled away by Chen Ziyuan, freeing the whip to leap onto the tree. Lu Chenju stepped on the stick, crossed his arms, the light glinting off the tiger claw blade. "Do you still wish to continue the fight?" The man in black took off his mask and took out a staff ID. He threw a Jade token onto the ground. "This is also a token, you keep it. And by the way, that fist blade, isn't it the mountain lord from Iron-Faced Tiger Li Gui? How did you get it?" "Mr. Li gifted it to me for use. Are you also a student of Mr. Li?" "Yes, I studied tiger form for a while before switching to something else." The man in black picked up his stick, bowed with his fists, and then left. Lu Chenju received the token. He now had 2 Jade tokens. Chen Ziyuan trotted over, standing beside Lu Chenju to feel safe. She enviously said, "Mr. Li is really good to you." "Yes." "How many Jade tokens do you have now?" 2. "And you?" "I don't have any. Right after landing, I was chased by the man in black." Chen Ziyuan lamented her bad luck. Just then, a voice came through the communicator. "Current Jade token leader, Sioux City Dragon Marshal Lu Chenju." In an instant, both Lu Chenju and Chen Ziyuan's expressions changed. "Let's go, let's leave and meet up with the others." The organizers of the competition were cunning. With this broadcast, players from Martial Arts University of Huangshan would be hunting Lu Chenju all over until noon tomorrow at Bright Peak. Others might be managed, but facing Li Kangkang, Lu had no confidence and needed to ally with Wang Hongdao as soon as possible. Shortly after they had started running, another broadcast was heard. Dragon City Wang Hongdao has been eliminated by Huangshan Li Kangkang and Kping. Lu Chenju and Chen Ziyuan froze in their tracks. They could never have expected that, after the weakest Zio he was eliminated, the next would be the undoubtedly top fighter Wang Hongdao. This was the extreme limit realm, a master among the top 500 of the hidden dragon list.